my name is Jenny Pedigo with So Kind of Wonderful Contemporary Quilt Designs, and I am demonstrating how to sew curves today. These curves were cut using my quick curve ruler, and I wanted to show you just how easy it is to sew these curves. So the first one I'm going to do is this one, and I always sew with the outside curve on top and the inside curve on the bottom. I've sewed many of these curves, and that's the one that I have found, or this is the way I've found that works good. And so when you sew, you also want to make sure that the bottom fabric extends about 1/4 inch past the top. And so you can go ahead and get your fabric in place. And I'll have a needle down just so if I have to stop, my needle's in the fabric. And then another thing that I do that I have found that helps, and this is the way I do it, you might find a way that you like it, but I put my right hand on the top fabric and I put my left hand on the bottom fabric, because as I'm sewing, I'm bringing them together like this. And so I'm going to go slow just to show you. What you really need to make sure is that the right sides of the fabric here just stay pinched together right underneath the foot. Don't worry about what's going on down here. Just right up underneath your foot and right before your foot. Just make sure those fabrics are coming together. So as I'm going, I'm just kind of bringing the fabrics together, and this curve is a really easy curve to sew. It's not a tight curve, and I did a lot of testing on different size curves, and I came up with this, which is a 15-inch circle, but this curve I found is just an easy curve to sew, and I like things easy, and so that's why I came up with that size. Okay, and then you don't have to snip your sewed seam. It's like I said, it's just it's a nice slight curve, so it'll lay pretty flat. So then on the other side, again, you want that outside curve on top and that inside curve on the bottom, and the bottom fabric extend about 1/4 inch. And you don't have to be perfect at this, you don't have to be exact, because remember, my ruler is a square up ruler, so after we're done sewing and ironing, we're going to square our block up to a perfect rectangle. So I'll go ahead and sew this. I'm going to go a little faster just to show you that you can do curves pretty fast. And I'm not perfect. I mean, you don't have to be, because we're going to square it up. That's the beauty of these blocks. Okay, so there's that block, and then I'm going to demonstrate how to sew this one. And so doesn't matter which side you do first. I'm going to do this side. And again, you want that bottom fabric to extend about 1/4 inch beyond the top. And the outside curve is on the top and the inside curve is on the bottom. And this is the smaller curve, the 10-inch curve, which is another size for my ruler, is really easy to sew. But I just wanted to demonstrate on the smaller curve to show that this is really easy too. As you notice, when I ended here, the fabric isn't a 1/4 inch past the top like that is, but it's all right. That's because we're going to square it up. So then let's do this other side. And again, you want the outside curve on the top and that inside curve on the bottom. And you definitely don't need to pin these because we're not trying to make them perfect. We don't need to. All right, so there you have that shape and then that one, and we're going to come over to the iron and iron them. And I always iron on the back first, and as I'm ironing, I always iron towards my center shape. And I kind of pull on the opposite side of the block that I'm ironing, just to kind of make sure the seam is apart, because sometimes you'll iron and your seam will be overlapped on the front side. You want it nice and tight. And then iron it real good on the top. And you just want to make sure your block is really nice and flat. I use steam all the time when I'm ironing. I'll iron this one. You also don't need to do back stitches on the beginning and ends of your, when you start sewing, because we're going to be cutting them off when we square up the blocks. And then iron it on the top. Alright, and there you have your 2 blocks. So this concludes this segment of sewing my curves, and if you're interested in the quick curve ruler, my patterns, go to sewkindofwonderful.com and stay tuned for the next segment on how to square these up. Thanks.